Big thing this year, right? ChatGPT, AI, that's all everyone's talking about for the last 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. Generative AI, yeah. AI's been around since the 50s, the 60s. It's been around forever. If you even go back only just to October of last year, Sequoia put out like a map of the generative AI companies that are out there, and they had like 50. Okay, and now if you do that same map, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, and there are hundreds coming out every week, generative AI. So it's a type of, just for the definition, it's a type of artificial intelligence that can take human input and create something entirely new. Okay, and it's used often for creating content, creating art, creating videos even now, and audio. And it's really taking the world by storm. Yeah.
I can give you a basic example of a conversation I had with my wife. She was like, "What's everyone talking about this chat? What this chat? This chat?" She hadn't seen it. She's a teacher, so she's not in the world that we live in, kind of. And I said to her, "Hang on, let me show it to you." So I actually connected my laptop to the TV on Saturday, and I said, "We're going to Rome next week." I said, "Listen, let me show you how we'll plan out the entire trip and just put in a few prompts, ask her a few questions, what do we want to do, define the day." And while she was sitting there, she was like, she couldn't believe that every single day from the morning to the evening, even fixed it where it said, well, you'll arrive in the afternoon, you'll get out of the airport, go to your hotel. So then I wrote, well, we actually arriving in the middle of the night so we can start the trip in the morning, so that it went in and actually updated. So it's amazing. It's worth playing around with it. That's kind of what we're going to be talking to, and how this works with CRMs, how this works with obviously how this works with HubSpot as well. But it's, anyone hasn't played around with it, it's worth playing around with it. It's very interesting, and you can actually, look at your different. And I think everyone is going to have this in one of their tabs open 24/7, and start asking questions, and an external assistant that you have with you.
Mm-hmm. Every product, every workplace, it all has it. It's actually, some people sometimes say, I'm concerned that that AI is going to take over my job, right? They won't need me anymore, right? There's even rumors that some of the layoffs that are coming out there are because AI is taking over for some of these people. What I've been hearing, and what I've been speaking to many people about it, I've gotten really into the topic this year. It's not that AI is going to replace us. It's that the people who know how to use AI better will replace those that don't use AI, because AI gives you like a head start. So it gets you started on doing what you need to do. There's Paul Rotzer, if you heard or not heard, the Marketing AI Institute. So he's one of the leaders on the topic. He's really interesting. They put out every day all the latest news in the AI, and they have all these different courses. But in the end, next gen marketing, next gen sales, it's about being smarter, taking advantage of the tools that are there. The world's changing, right?
Yeah. I think it's very interesting, and I think, as you said, I don't know where it's going to go in the future, and I'm sure it's going to. We're only seeing the beginning, but at the moment, and probably in the next couple of months, as I said, it's going to be a tab that's open on your computer, and it's like having a student or having an external person where you say, listen, can you go and search this? Can you go and build this? And then kind of get the draft ready, and then we'll look at it together and move to the next step. So sometimes that basic process can be done through the chat and through the AI, and then you start having to put in your 2 cents, and then deep dive, and then start from there.
Yeah. So let's get into HubSpot.
Yeah. Do you want to explain just a few seconds, or a few minutes, what Dharmesh actually did?
Yeah. So let's talk about the 2 HubSpot tools. I don't have anything to share about it, but yeah, it's fine. There's 2 HubSpot tools. You don't need to worry about the screen right now. There's nothing to share. They have ChatSpot and they have Content Assistant. Okay. ChatSpot they both run on GPT-4 now. They got the latest upgrade. ChatSpot's basically, you type what you want HubSpot to do, and it does it for you. So the idea is that someone who doesn't necessarily know how to use the CRM, use the system, they can just type, open me this contact and all this information, tell me the status, create for me a workflow. It's still only in the alpha, so it's still buggy, and we're going to try and show you it, but it might have some bugs. But the potential is that only your system owner will be the one who needs to go in, and everyone else can do their job without touching it itself.
So in essence, the way Yoni and I were talking about this over the last week, and again, this is our assumption. It's not based, I think, on anything, but the idea is that you could actually use that as your interface with the CRM. Not only your interface with the CRM, but your interface with everything that you're doing. Because obviously I can connect it, and you'll see today it's actually connected to our Google Docs, and it's connected to HubSpot. So I can actually, and we'll show you a few examples. One, I can reach out, and if I'm a salesperson, go in and find information about, okay, I want to understand who Deal Hub is because I need to speak to them. So I find out, I can do research on Deal Hub. I don't go to Google anymore. I just go in here, you'll see in a second, get all the information about Deal Hub. And then I say, okay, but Deal Hub's a company that's not in my database. That's great. Add it to the database. I click on a button, it goes into the CRM. And then I carry on the process. So if on the sales side, the salesperson can actually have that as his window for his work and go back and forth and, ping LinkedIn, check and do whatever you want. Obviously, the chat is going back, I think, a year. It's not going back. The AI is going back. It's not 100% live. So there are things that you're going to have to double check. But the whole idea is that I can get results, and maybe let's start going in and showing a few things here.
You want to ChatSpot?
So if you just go to ChatSpot AI, and then there's a good chance you're going to have to set this up. Once you get accepted, then you'll go into your settings and you'll connect whatever portals you have access to. So whether it's the portal for your company, you can access to it and active. Then I can actually connect other accounts we've connected. They've added more stuff. So now we've connected our Google Docs, the Twitter. And if we go in tomorrow, we'll probably see something else that they've connected in the back end. But then the more I see this, I can see that this is actually going in the direction that we're talking about.
And also what they put in here, which is nice, is DALL-E, which is the image creator from ChatGPT, OpenAI. So you have a few different types of images that you can choose from. So you can say, I want this style or that style, and then you tell them to generate an image, and it does it in these styles. And the styles, there's Salvador Dali, there's probably Renoir or whatever. And I'm sure they'll just grow.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Okay, so let's see if this is going to work, because so once you go in, what they've done is actually quite interesting, is that they give it getting started and suggested favorites, history, and so on and so forth. So you can start. But on the left-hand side, you have basic things, and you can see what's interesting here is getting started, and then I've got marketing. Okay, how do I find a report on my social media performance? So obviously I can write whatever I want, but this is a prompt that's ready. Starts thinking. Now again, it's pinging our portal in HubSpot. Okay, so it's pulling that information. And it says here from HubSpot's Hub navigation bar. So I asked the question, not only how do I go into HubSpot, I asked the question, how do I actually find something in HubSpot? So instead of me going to the knowledge base and start looking for it and back and forth. So I said, okay, now if I click on this, it's going to take me to where I needed to go, social reports. We don't have anything in here. That's why it's not pulling in data. Now I want to see how many monthly web visits from last year. So now, in essence, I'm pulling a report. Now, the biggest problem with reporting across the board, and Sal, who's sitting here in the back, is kind of, he has these questions on a day-to-day basis from the customers we work with, is that, in essence, what is reporting? Reporting is a tool to be able to answer questions that you guys are asking. Now, the problem with reporting today is that no one really asks a question. They try and find out kind of a bunch of information that I want. But here, the way it's going now is that I just asked a question and using basic language, and I get the information. I can look at it, change it around now. So again, I haven't, and this is pulling in data from our HubSpot. Okay, so it's really very clear. Again, the sales in the CRM, how many companies are there? Now on the right-hand side, again, I can actually assign Wild Coty to me. Okay, so now this person's going to be assigned to Yoni because I'm in Yoni's account. Okay. So I need to create them.
Yeah.
So if I do add, I add them first, then I can assign them. There we go, view in HubSpot. So you can see that I didn't have to go into the CRM. There we go. Now, the owner of this person doesn't exist at the moment. So if I go back and just do that again, now you'll see that they actually get assigned. Just want to spend one more second and show you this to actually show you that it's completely collected. Because now if I go back into HubSpot, okay, and you can see that Yoni's the owner. Okay, so now we can think about it. You can kind of do whatever you want. What's very interesting, so it's DevOps tools show tickets, generate AI, research. So I was talking about researching research dealhub.com. Okay, so I'm having a conversation with EL, trying to understand what their company is, and there we go. All the information about DealHub that HubSpot has, well, not HubSpot, HubSpot actually getting through the chat, location, Twitter, LinkedIn, industry, so on and so forth, add to HubSpot. Now this will be interesting, this I haven't tried. They should be in HubSpot, so let's see what happens now. There's a good chance that you see something went wrong, okay. But I can actually track the company. I can do all kinds of stuff. So this is for sure for the sales team and for the marketing team is a way of me actually tracking and getting information on the different things. If you guys go to the right-hand side.
Well, on the right-hand side, there's supposed to be, like we said, just to refresh. There's some more advanced prompts that are fun to use, and they're always adding here.
So there are 49 prompts here that you can search from, and they've started building these out based on show me company properties that have the domain name, show recent. So it's kind of trying to make your life a bit easier, and then putting into the different categories so you know who you are and how you can work with it. But obviously, just like ChatGPT, you can go in and start going wild. Again, it's in alpha. They have connected it to the fourth version.
Yeah.
But just like everything else, it's not ready. Think about it, just so everyone knows, alpha is before beta. Okay, so in other words, every single time we make a mistake, HubSpot or Damesh is learning how to improve on this. And if you follow his blogs and read how he's actually does a blog around this, it's very interesting because he's spending most of his time now. I think he's letting in 100 a day or a few thousand a day, so that he can actually control, see what's working, see what isn't working, and start learning from the users. So what are the use cases? Because that's, I think, the most important thing that they can start adding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so this is not available to general public.
Anyone can sign up.
There's a waiting list at the moment. No, it's open to everyone. If you have a portal, then in HubSpot you can connect to it, and all the customers. But there's a waiting list.
Yeah.
I don't know how many. I think I think it's a few hundred a day he's adding in.
And I mean,
Great.
so perfect.
And you got in.
So maybe he's done with waiting lists.
So that's it.
No, maybe the waiting lists are done. He did.
Maybe he's opened it up now.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah. By the way, I think the tool, all of these kind of tools, apropos in front of your computer is one way of doing it. But I think we're going to be going away from social networks at the moment and spending our time kind of asking questions and trying to learn things from your phone.
This, you can talk to it.
Well, no, with my accent doesn't work. You can try yours.
Smart.
What accent am I speaking?
You have to do it loud first. Go ahead, talk.
Add Yoni to the database. Okay, right.
Yeah, so.
I mean,
That went wrong. Okay, let's take a look at Content Assistant. ChatSpot's on each individual user, Content Assistant in private beta right now, and it's by company. So you can, again, on the same site, you can sign up to get it. There's two things that I wanna show in Content Assistant. Let's start with the sales. So I'm gonna open up my email. All right, don't look at all my secret conversations about different things. So if you have HubSpot integrated to your email, which you should, you see that you have the usual things here, templates, meeting there, and now you have write an email for me. Okay, this is when you get to Content Assistant. So now I can ask it, and one of the pain points some of my clients do face is that, you know, all our salespeople are Israelis with a thick accents, and we're trying to sell to these international people, and they just don't understand each other in the emails even. So they're working on that. But you can create the templates here, so we can say, okay, what am I selling? I'm selling sales software. Okay, for mid-size companies. And then who am I selling to? So I'm selling to chief of sales. And C-suite, and then say what we want to talk about in this email, right? So I'm going to say, okay, I have this outstanding product that will save you tens of hours. Not super creative, and then you can choose the tone of the email, right? So you can say, okay, I want to be professional, helpful, witty, formal, optimistic. My favorite's witty, and then you can do generate. And if you put in smarter prompts, it'll give you different interesting languages as well. But it comes here, it gives you your subject line, okay, right here, and it gives you the whole sentence, and it has here, you know, the whole email, and it has here places to fill in what you need, right? So this is the first option. And now if you don't like the option, so you do generate more. To give it a second, and then it'll give you two options, and again you can choose one or the other, right? So this is the first option, and then down here is the second option. So let's say I like the second option, so I choose it, and then I go insert content, and there's my email. I take my subject line, I copy and paste it up to my subject, yeah, and then we can just start from here, dear. And what's really nice is that now, once this email is written, it's going to be your starting point, right? You want to work on it. But even once you've worked on it and you like it, you click here on templates, and you can create a template from this email, right? And it goes straight into your HubSpot templates. You can create templates for anyone who needs them for any topic. It's really quite nice.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think that's as we said before, it's kind of not starting from zero. You're kind of starting from 20-30%, and obviously, as you said, it's a good idea to customize these and start using them, but then you can start also creating these. What's good about templates is that when you go into the template, you don't have to start from scratch now. You choose a template, you can divide the templates in different groups and say, okay, this is the type of emails that are going out. If it's my sales email, it's first call, second call, so on and so forth. Yeah. Use those templates for your sequences, and yeah, it's never ending.
So
Sales Hub only, right? Not Marketing Hub.
Templates
isn't Sales Hub, yeah.
But Marketing Hub has different different use cases, and that's a good segue. So let's find, last week or 2 weeks ago, I wrote a blog using Content Assistant. It was nice. We had a conversation. So basically, this is inside a blog, right? So I'm creating a blog, and you can do it in blogs, you can do it in emails, you can do it pretty much across the whole platform. You do this little slash here, and it gives you 4 options at the beginning, and conclusions came out over the weekend, I think. But you can tell it to generate a paragraph, an outline, ideas, or a conclusion, right? So let's say I want to generate ideas. Okay, so I want to write a blog about collectibles. Sorry, not write a blog, ideas for a blog about collectibles, right? So let me click here, generate. And it comes here, it gives me five ideas, okay? 10 must-have collectibles, the history and value of vintage toys, a collector's guide, I like that. Uncovering hidden treasures, how to find rare collectibles, the art of display, and from stamps to coins. So it's getting started, and then you can work together. It's like brainstorming together. So, okay, I don't really like those. Give me some other options, and you can keep on doing generate ideas. And as long as you're inside the same window, you can also go back to your previous ideas. Once you're happy with what there is, you can, first of all, you can edit it, right? So I can say I only want the first one, and then I do insert, okay? Now this is my topic, but I like the other one more, so I'm gonna paste it because I put it here. Okay, so the history and value of vintage toys. So now, what's the next step is I wanna work on an outline, okay? So I take this that I have pasted, and we'll get to that one in a second. Where's yeah, so I say generate outline, okay, and we can say here 600-word blog about history in this, and then it's going to come out with everything with H2, H3, splitting it into the different sections, telling you what to do. And you can take that and you have an outline for a blog already. And well, it doesn't stop there, but it's just being a little slow. Oh, come on. Let's try again. Well, in the event that it didn't work, so I did previously, before you guys were here, I did one about Antarctica. So if it doesn't work, then we're gonna go back to Antarctica.
I mean, it does need to go to Boston, come back to Renana. It takes time. It's not that.
Okay, so the previous one I did earlier, I asked it to create for me an outline about penguins, physiology of penguins. So this part is already stuff that I played with. I'm going down here to where there's just an outline, okay? So you can see here, H2, the physiology of penguins, okay? And then H3, their adaptation, and then topics to explore, right? So really it's giving you a table of contents, and it's quite thorough, to be honest with you, the ones that I've done. And then what you can do now is I can say to it, okay, let's talk about wingless flight and aquatic propulsion, right? So if I click here, I can tell it to rewrite it, to expand it, to summarize, or to change the tone, right? So I'm going to tell I want to expand, and it's going to give me, hopefully, 3 paragraphs, maybe more, maybe less. It's a little, I think they write a little bit too much for my taste. But here it is, right? And then I can just do insert, and instead of that line in my outline, now I have these 3 paragraphs about I already forgot flightless birds, right? And then if you want to be, play with it even more, you can say, okay, you expanded it for me, now summarize it for me again. Okay, and then it's not going to be the same as the first one, but you can take a longer and make it shorter. Okay, so this takes 5 lines and makes it into 3. And and even and then you can take another paragraph and say, okay, I want this paragraph to be let's do friendly. So it's going to take our text and it's going to make it be friendly. Why it's friendly, I don't know. It just seems like it's just it is, but they come in and it's nice. They work on the tone.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then after that, I can say at the bottom, I want it to make me a conclusion. Yeah, if I want to make the conclusion, let's see what else there is here. So when you have existing text, you can do rewrite, expand, summarize, and change the tone. And when you don't have text, you can do generate paragraphs, outlines, ideas, and create a conclusion. And it's been fun. I like it. It only does existing information. So when you need to take the existing information and then add your own addition, let's say, your novel part.
Which will make sure that we keep our jobs.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, you have to fact check. Or,
Yeah.
or just,
I have heard
You do
things
need
that
to
what it
fact check.
does is that it not only this one, but the chat on a high level, the AI tries to find solutions. So what it's doing, that's why you need a fact check, is that it finds information and then puts it together that might not really make sense. And someone knows exactly what happened, they'll look at it and say, okay, hang on a second. I'm not talking about facts. I'm talking about trying to kind of conclusions and adding information that's out there on the web and then connecting it together. And I heard there all kinds of interesting things are happening. Sorry?
We'll make a fact also.
Yeah, because I think that's what it's doing. It's kind of, yeah. I heard doctors were looking at prescriptions and coming up with all kinds of things, which is, I wouldn't, but as any doctor says to you, don't Google what you have. Not a good idea.
yeah, so sign up. They're fun to play with. They're fun and they're helpful. You can also do most of it in ChatGPT or in other ones that are available now, but it's really nice that it's inside the system.